Welcome, everybody. Welcome. It's our Friday edition of Savage Patreon.
Happy Friday.
Don't forget. Don't forget. Tomorrow we're doing the Rumble thing, so don't be late now.
6 o'clock.
We're gonna be
Now,
doing that Rumble stuff.
Marlon, I can't make any guarantees just yet. You know what I got going on tomorrow, so hopefully I should be. Most likely I should be, but just in case.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure that the Facebook is ready. The Facebook is on and live. All right. Now, most of these guys on the screen, we have TikTok accounts. And I'm sure that we've run across at least one of these two or three.
I will be
people
the blind study.
It'll be a blind study. I'm sure you've seen this man's face before.
It looks familiar, but
okay. But what we're going to be talking about is a trend of paid actors on TikTok who push two particular things: the narrative that Biden is obviously doing something good, and violence.
Right.
Okay, violence. And in some cases, you'll get a happy mix of violence and Biden's doing fine. One guy in particular is almost every stinking day, he is live. Almost every day. And I'll show you what his lives entail, because when you see it, you're gonna crack up, because this is him all the time.
He's a Trump fish.
This is all he does.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know.
Just listen carefully. Watch.
Let's get back to Fact or Cap, baby. Fact or Cap. Let's get it. You see that right there, man? Facts over y'all feelings, Maka. Y'all talk about all shit, man. The economy, so on the toilet, and blah, blah, blah. But that's not what the reality on the ground is.
Okay.
Flat out. You can't stop it, baby. The battle.
Did you see that little gay move? You can't stop it.
Damn. You can't stop it.
This dude's the gay dude. Look at
it.
Did you see that?
14
This man has been doing it.
Girl,
This man has been doing it. Straight up.
Did you see that girlfriend move right there?
Joe Biden.
That this is easy to debunk. Okay, so like, it helps your growth numbers if you destroy
the job,
millions of jobs during COVID and then bring them back.
Yeah,
it obviously looks better. So yeah, like when we're talking about Trump numbers, we're talking about pre-pandemic. He actually created 66 million jobs versus Biden, who just returned over half of those jobs. That was already destroyed.
And then you're talking about the double working that people have to do because the economy is bad.
That's right.
Yeah, you have more jobs because people are working 2 or 3 just to make the inflation.
Boom.
Like, you think that's a win, but that's not a win, man. That's saying how bad the economy is.
Listen carefully.
Pull you up. All right, you are live.
He's pulling somebody up. Watch this.
You are live.
What's going on with you?
What's good? What's good? What's up?
Oh, we back on the grind, baby.
Life is good.
Good
stuff, man. Good. Hey, my stock in my 401k is all the way up.
It's going like weeds, baby.
My stocks are going up. Okay.
You know, there is a rule, right? If you talk about it, you ain't got it.
No.
You know, if you get online and you have to boast about it, oh, my stocks in my 401k is going up. It's not happening. You're lying. You're playing along. You're playing a role.
What was the thing that Dave Chappelle was told, that only millionaires wear their chains? It's the same thing, right? It's like if you got it, you're not talking about it. If you don't, you're showing it.
Yep.
The sad thing is that he's it's such a display of low IQ behavior. That's the sad part. That's the tragedy here.
Well, here's the other thing. If you look at Bush, right? Remember what happened right before Obama came in at the end of Bush's term? It was the Great Recession, the housing crash was in 2008. Why do you think he lost so many jobs? You know, that's what happens. There was also the slump of 2001. So yeah, there is a loss of jobs under Bush for a reason. Right? And there's going to be the same thing with Obama. You also notice he didn't put Obama's numbers up there, did he?
No, because he started with a deficit.
He's the bottom for Obama.
Yeah, so like he didn't even show Obama's numbers, so he's being disingenuous. He's only taking the white presidents, right? Not the black president, just the white ones, right? And showing how terrible they were doing. And then all of a sudden he wants to prop up the oldest, whitest, racist one of them all to say he's doing a great job. It's amazing.
Him.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can, when you watch his lives, because that's all he really does. I mean, every time I come across him, it's on one of his lives. And I sit there and watch it. Sometimes you have to ask yourself if it's satire.
Yeah.
Because he's like Jay said, nothing is intellectual about what he's saying. It's just jabs, name calling, ad homs, Trump's bad, Biden's good, Trump for president, and he doesn't give any substance to his points. It's just attack, and here's why. Then he shows you numbers and he shows you graphs, but they're very biased numbers. He doesn't show you the other side.
Like I said,
and the thing is, his followers eat it up.
That's also another tragedy, is the fact that his followers are just as low IQ as he is.
That's why he has it.
Yeah.
The most dangerous person in the world is somebody that thinks they know something, right? It's like half-wits are more dangerous than no-wits.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah. They have no way.
Because like half-wits think they have wits, and they don't. Whereas a no-wits know they're dumb. They know they're dumb. Like it's like, I might not be a smart man, but I know what love is. You know, that kind of situation. Yeah. That's a no-wit. We have half-wits who think they know everything and think that they can just put out numbers like he did. Like, hey, look, here's Biden's numbers. Those are the good ones. It's like, no, you're not actually taking into account any of the economic impacts of any of those presidencies, the historical period of those presidencies, and why they are the way they are. Like COVID being one of those. If you destroy a bunch of jobs and bring a bunch of them back, your numbers look better.
I keep equating it to this, Ryan. Whenever you live in your house and you feel like it's cluttered, put more stuff in your house and live with it for about a month.
Yep.
And then take the stuff that you just put in a month ago out, and all of a sudden you're gonna feel like your house has a metric ton of room. But all you've done is trick your mind into thinking that you've had room when you've gone back to the same cluttered house, but you just remove excess clutter and make it look like you did something. So you're not really cleaning your house. You're just removing crap that you put on top of the crap you had before. That's basically what the government does. They trick you with, like Joe Biden said, inflation is down. Meanwhile, it went up 15 points and then it came down 5. And then he said, see, it's down 5 points. But it went up 15. But
it went up 15, but it's down 5. Yeah,
it's down 5.
Breaking even is not making a profit.
Thank you.
That's the only way to explain it. Is like you're saying that, oh yeah, look how much money we made. No, you just made the money back. That's it.
But people hear the 5 points are down. They're like,
right?
That's true.
It's like, it's when somebody marks up something, right? It's like, hey, it's 30% off, but it was already that price before. You just raised it 30% and then lowered it again.
And that's
the same thing.
Wasn't that all the Black Friday sales?
That's always
Black
Friday sales, right? They mark it up and then they lower it artificially and say, hey, it's a good deal. But that's what the price was before.
They catch the people that don't do any market research like that. And so you have now, this is what TikTok has become.
Yeah.
And you're going to see more of it now that they've taken the music aspect out of TikTok. I think you're going to see a metric ton of violations pop on because people now have to talk. But then the other side that will not get penalized are the people like this guy. Oh. Now you heard a little bit from him on Wednesday. But this one is worse because he's doubling down on that statement he made. And I wait for you guys to catch it. I'm not going to apologize for his language because his language is what the epitome of the left is. They don't really have a huge vocabulary to begin with.
Nope.
So they have to do what they do to sound as though they have a lot. It's filler. Okay? Just understand it's filler. So listen carefully and you tell me if you hear what I hear.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? I was in a live early this morning. And we were talking about Donald Trump. And the talk was about the possibility of him becoming the president again. And I said that he's not going to be the president. If he becomes the president, he will be assassinated. But he won't be assassinated like JFK. We've grown from that era.
Did you hear what he just said?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said he won't be assassinated like JFK.
Yeah.
What else did he say? We've grown.
We've grown from that era.
That era.
Yeah.
We have. He is hoping and calling for the assassination of a former and possible next upcoming president.
Yep.
And he is still walking the streets completely fine and free.
It's the ambiguousness of language. So like he'll just say that is like, no, I'm talking about like what is it, the personality assassination? So we're just looking at him as the person we're assassinating that way. His character assassination. That's what we're looking at.
Okay,
that's what he's going to say he's meaning.
Let's see. That's what he means.
Right. We're not trying to send messages like that. You know, it'll be an unfortunate incident, and this is why I'm going to tell you.
See,
I'm going to explain to you how he's not going to be the president. This country, core values is integrity. Upholding the integrity of this nation is one of the hardest things to do.
Coming from a man who has no integrity and no morals whatsoever. That's rich.
We haven't had integrity since they shot JFK. Right. I'm just going to go out and say that. It's since the first assassination of our president in modern era, we haven't had integrity.
But we've grown from that, though, bro.
Yeah, we've grown from that.
Well, yeah, we're better.
Like, once you let the deep state get away with killing a U.S. president, it was done. The U.S. was done. It's already been taken over by a coup.
Yeah.
Yep. We lost integrity when we went to Iraq, you know, with the weapons of mass destruction. Where was our integrity then?
Yeah, right. We can point to all kinds of wars from since JFK has been killed to now, and how it has done nothing to serve the American people. There is no integrity there.
No.
The thing about it is this: the reason we're doing this is for this reason. Okay. The next phase of what you're going to see going out, is this new call to the if factor of the next election. They're not going to say he will not outright, even though that's what they wish. But then they're going to put the caveat on, if he does, this will be our next move. He said with his own mouth, it will be an unfortunate accident. There is no working around that one to make it anything but a physical demise to a human being.
Yeah.
And if you look at this particular individual's track record, he has called for, made threats about removing people and unaliving them because he does not like them.
Yep.
And I'm talking about females, children, and the like.
Oh, that's a new one.
Okay. This is not,
I've never heard that.
This is par for the course for this clown. He's a violent individual with mental problems from military. And I don't even know if he did anything in the military other than seeing dead bodies in the morgue.
Yeah,
from what I've heard, he was simply just a morgue assistant. He didn't do any real combat. He's all mouth. He's a tubby, fat, meat-headed piece of shit, and that's what everybody knows him as. But he has to get his voice out and push the narrative to try and make people afraid of the left. They have to make you afraid.
Yeah.
And so what do? They plan, they coordinate with the places that you have your social media. You can't get your voice out, but every time they threaten you, their threat stays up. Why? Yeah. It's an intimidation factor. We'll make sure that we silence you, and whatever we say, we'll make sure it stays up on the internet for everyone to see. Okay, let me ask you this. What happened when Johnny Depp and Madonna threatened to kill? What happened when Kathy Griffin threatened to kill? Nothing, right?
Yeah.
Right. So case in point, they want people to be afraid of what they're capable of when they're not really capable of anything.
Yeah. Like the guy that threatened Biden was hunted down, shot, and killed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Right. Old guy too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not a threat.
It's just a difference of opinion, right? That's just how it goes, you know. Like the guy that was caught filming gay sex in the Senate chambers. He's getting nothing. Exactly. Just lost a job, and now he's going to go get a lobbying job across the street somewhere in DC. That's it. That's the only thing that's going to happen.
Guys like him, I mean, he tries to throw around his military service as if that's some type of flex, and as if someone's supposed to be intimidated by him based off whatever training he thinks he has.
Yeah.
You know, based off his MOS. He's probably got, the basic,
What-
very basic of the basic military training. That is like straight
What
out
was
of
his
basic.
MOS?
Don't know.
That was straight out of basic training, just the basics. Because I was telling Marlon, most people that have actually done stuff don't talk the way he talks. We're what you call, we're quiet professionals. We know what we're capable of. We don't have to get on the internet and boast about it. Just like I said earlier, when you boast about it, you don't know it or you don't have it.
And isn't there also some semblance of decorum when it comes to being in the military in terms of actually respecting the office of the commander-in-chief?
Well, yeah, but he's out. He doesn't have to follow those rules. But I was going to say is that most people that I know that have actually seen combat or have been involved in combat are anti-war people now. Like, after being in war and actually seeing what it does, it's pointless. Right. And a lot of the guys that were infantry will tell you the exact same thing. It's like, I'm a peaceful individual, not a harmless individual, but I don't wish war on anyone.
Yeah. That's pretty poignant.
Yeah.
Yeah. The greatest issue we're going to have is the next generation are the ones that are going to be influenced by this, not necessarily us. We are the ones that kind of have our heads on a swivel and on our shoulders. The next generation is looking, and the more that they can remove information, or what should I say, tailor information the way they want it. They say that we're the ones that deal in propaganda when we're not the ones trying to stop the flow of information. We don't tell people you shouldn't know something. We tell people, get as much as you can so you can make an educated pick. Their side says, only listen to what we say to listen to.
Everything else is dangerous.
Everything else is dangerous.
Yeah.
Now, if that doesn't tell you that they're hiding something, I don't know what doesn't.
They also use the phrase "my truth,"
or your truth. There's no the truth. It's just whatever you feel truth is.
My lived experience. That's the other one.
Yeah, I mean, and it is dangerous because we know how influential social media is. And a lot of these people, especially this younger generation, they don't really research anything. They're more of, whatever they see right away, that's the truth to them. They don't, a lot of them don't go down and say, whenever I see something come across like social media on TikTok, I'm like, let me look that up myself. And then I'll go and look it up. I'm like, oh, that is true. Maybe it is true. Then I'll go find it somewhere. Oh, now multiple sources are talking about it. These kids will take what people like him and other left-wing creators say. They'll take it for whatever they say. They can say tomorrow that Donald Trump pooped on Joe Biden's desk, and they can run with that, and every single one of them are going to believe it. They're going to believe it. And that's the problem with influencer like this, and where he's getting at by talking about violence without talking about violence. He's influencing someone to commit an act of violence through proxy.
You don't need to convince crazy people to do something crazy.
Isn't there a word for that? Like, what was it? Co-conspiring or something like that?
Co-conspirator.
Yeah. It depends on the wording, and it depends on what a judge says.
No, it would be classified under incitement.
Incitement, that's what it is.
Because but there's the ways around it. It's like, oh, won't somebody rid me of this priest? Right? I'm not telling you directly to do something, but it wouldn't hurt me if you did.
And yet, aren't these the exact same people that also said that Trump was directly involved in inciting the J6?
Yeah, they also said he was going to start World War III. So
they did.
Take that with a grain of salt, my friends. Compared to what Donald Trump did in office versus what Biden and whoever's propping him up is doing.
Currently doing
the puppet regime that we have in the White House now. Like, who's really causing the issues? Like, you can say Donald Trump's going to do all these bad things. He's going to be a dictator for life or whatever. But my estimation, he has done a lot less worse things than Biden has done in the last couple of years.
Right.
He's done so much to destroy the country that it's not even comparable.
Yeah.
So here's his other narrative I want you guys to hear. And again, language is there, but deal with it. This is the funny one.
So the National Guard of Texas has taken over the border. right? And they're manhandling, unarmed people, regular civilians. Yeah. Let's see how good these motherfuckers are when they're combating the cartel. I mean, it's easy to sit back on the sidelines and applaud the efforts of the nasty girls, and I don't give a fuck how you feel about the euphemism. I'm old school Army, fuck your feelings. But let's see how well they hold up when the cartel meets them there. To see how that works. Okay? Until then, continue to show the rest of the nation that we are indeed fucking scumbags, arrogant, entitled pricks who haven't got our ass whooped in a long time. And trust me, it's going to be coming from all fucking angles. Peace.
Okay. Question. Why are you hoping the cartels attack members of the National Guard? That's the first question. Second question being, when have we not gotten our asses handed to us in the last few, 50 years? I mean, tell me one war we've won since World War II. I will wait because we've won every battle, but we've lost every war. So you can't say we haven't had our asses handed to us. We win a lot of things, but we've lost every single war. So I wouldn't say that we haven't done a very good job of that, I would say. But the cartels are the ones doing this human trafficking in the first place because it makes more money than smuggling drugs.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think they're doing right now? They were making hand over fist money from getting people to be shoved over a border, and they're getting 10,000 a pop from each person. Okay? We're talking millions of people have come to the United States, and that is at the very minimum is $10K a person. And we're talking millions. They have made billions of dollars off of human trafficking in the last 2 years. And it's a lot less, it's a lot less risky, right? I can smuggle kilos upon kilos of drugs over the border, or I can take people, they pay me to put them over the border, and I have no risk because the United States will just let them.
Yeah, and I can still send them over with kilos and kilos of drugs.
Right? So it's a twofer, man. It's a win-win. The government's not in the United States isn't going to stop them. We already have all of our distribution and networking in the United States in every single state, right? We just got to get these people over the border. That's it.
I will answer his question. I cannot wait for the National Guard to get a hold of the cartel members and absolutely decimate them.
Yeah,
damn right.
I cannot wait to see a cartel truck pull up to try and do something to the National Guard and have the truck completely blown to smithereens and body parts everywhere. I will applaud when that happens to the cartel.
At least we would get our guns back.
And here's how you know he's never been in any type of combat. Yeah. We done fought some serious fights and some serious adversaries, and the cartel ain't even close to what we face overseas. They're just a bunch of thugs running around, killing innocent people and firing, the weapons from the hip. You get the big dogs on there, and they wouldn't stand a chance. And I think the National Guard, don't knock them because, they're good at what they do. So I don't think the cartel, whatever he's talking about, the cartel showed up, they wouldn't stand a chance.
He's talking about Hollywood cartels. Like,
he's thinking movies. He's thinking freaking
Sicario, yeah.
He watches too many movies.
Here's the thing people seem to have forgotten about the 20 years of the War on Terror is that they were augmenting regular army forces with National Guard forces. Did we all just forget that? Did we memory hole that issue of like there are veterans of the War on Terror in the National Guard? I just want to point that out, that there are people that are either regular army, former Marines, or any other branch in the National Guard. Like it's not like it's just filled with nothing but weekend civilians. Right, it's got a mixture of people in there, so you can't just say it's one thing, dude. So you have no idea what you're talking about. I actually was in the Texas National Guard. I knew a lot of the guys that were there, and there were a lot of former members like me from other places. It wasn't just weekend warriors.
Right.
Yeah,
but we're listening to We're listening to a guy that basically, I think his position was a mortuary assistant in the Army.
I think that's what I had seen some time ago, was a mortuary assistant. That was his MOS.
Does he have a propensity for necrophilia? I'm not saying he does. I'm just saying, has there been an incident of said thing happening?
Let me just put it to you this way. He has an affinity for death.
Yeah, he does seem to like a lot of that, though.
He talks
but,
a lot.
just based off the way he's talking, And based off what Jay said about his MOS, which a couple of us already knew, he's never done anything. This is what I was saying. The true warriors and the true people, the true soldiers, Marines, airmen, the ones with that warrior spirit who's actually done stuff, don't talk like that. We don't say, oh, what is the cartel? No, we don't talk like that. He doesn't know anything. I'm old school army. No, so am I. You know nothing. You've done nothing. Just admit it. You've done nothing. And what you're doing is you're saying that the army that you used to be a part of, which the National Guard falls under the army, is going to lose.
Yeah.
That's what you just told him. That's what you told him. Everyone you've ever served with, everyone that you've ever known, everyone that's died wearing this uniform, you just told them to get their butts handed to them. That's what you just said.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind the nasty girls comment, because like even I use that phrase every now and again because it's funny. It's just like at Chair Force being the same thing. It's about the same sort of situation. But the problem is that just because you were in the Army or you were in the Marines or any of these other ones doesn't mean that you were,
any good.
and that good. I mean, a S1 Marine is still an S1 Marine and is not comparable to an O3. I'm sorry. It's just not. You can shoot. You might get expert. Congratulations. You can shoot at 500 yards with iron sights or without iron sights. I don't know when you came in. I came in right before and after they implemented that. So just because you can shoot doesn't mean you're any good at combat. That's just reality of it.
But I don't think it's even a matter of expertise. I think they're just paid to push this particular mindset.
Yep.
They do too much to not be a plant. Many of us that are on TikTok could say some of the most basic, simple, non-combative thing. It gets a strike. They can go on an entire tirade about physically, sexually harming females that they disagree with, beating people up, harming them by guns, and not a strike against them.
In fact, I would dare say
that's possible is that they get paid to do it.
I would dare say that their content itself gets promoted.
Because I always see it coming across when I don't want to.
Yeah. And here's the thing, Marlon. We've talked about it many times, even in private. We talked about how these guys and guys like him and a lot of creators these days, especially these live junkies, what I like to call them. They're the ones that go live for like 8, 9, 10 hours a day, every single day. They're paid. They are paid because their agency protects them. This is why they can say what they want. They can do what they want. And you see it all the time. They can say whatever they want. But you say the same thing. Automatic strike, bullying. These guys say it, they continue on. So that's just telling you that they're being paid. They're being covered by TikTok. TikTok protects their page, and they're allowed to say what they want to say.
What's the young guy, the Stenson or whatever?
Harry.
Dude. Harry, yeah, get a Harry. I mean, they are actually paid by the administration to peddle propaganda. It's not surprising to me that they've been working on this scenario, but every campaign is using some sort of peddler of propaganda. Like that's just the reality of media and PR. There's always going to be somebody that's paid to say a certain thing. And hell, even most of the comments on most of your favorite celebrities are fake.
Yeah.
They're paid for by farms.
And that's not even the worst. I mean, Marlon's showing us some videos, but this guy, like Marlon said, he's done said stuff that could get you locked up in jail, because if you said that to someone's face in person, that's considered a terroristic threat. I can't just you can't just walk up to somebody on the street and saying, I'm going to do this to your kid, or I'm going to beat you, or I'm going to do this. That's a threat. Terroristic threat. It can be considered a terroristic threat, or depending on how what type of threat you issue, you can go to jail for that. But on here, they got free reign, man. And it's pretty sad, and they know it. They know that they can get away with. That's the messed up part. This is why they say the things that they say, because they know. You know how many times I want to say something on TikTok and I'm like,
wish I could find this thing.
No. You know what I mean? But they just say it. I don't care.
My head is down because I'm trying to find in the conglomeration of videos I've had over the years, because I've saved quite a few of them. I want you to hear. Let me see if I find it here. Let me see if I can find it.
And who's this pertaining to? I'm sorry.
This is still Brock.
Okay, Brock. Okay. Yeah, and you know, with Brock, there's this one video you showed me. I don't know if you're going to show it, but it just goes. That video just shows you what type of person he is. See, Brock is the type of guy who likes to use intimidation to get people to listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just look at him and look how he talks to people and look how he carries himself and listen to the words that are coming out of his mouth.
Right.
You know, that's number one, that he's a narcissist. You know, that's some narcissistic stuff. And he uses intimidation to intimidate people. But he ain't crossed people like me yet. He ain't crossed people. He's crossed Marlon. That it don't work on Marlon.
But he ran from me.
They run from strong people. They're gonna run because it doesn't work. And we'll call this bluff.
I didn't find one I was looking for, but I found one just as good. So I'm going to send that to myself so y'all can hear this one.
All right.
Because this one ain't as docile as the others. Okay. This is their tactic. When you don't comply with what they got to say and you don't agree with them, the next thing and you continue to make your own videos. Now, here's the thing. You don't even have to deal with them. They'll hear that you're making videos and they'll send people over to you to get you intimidated, go into your comment section, threaten you there. And then they'll make one, tag you in it, threaten you there too. And they hope that you will retaliate enough so that your account gets gone. Mm-hmm. The next step after that is to find you on any other platform you're on and do the same exact thing. This particular individual did also the same thing. He threatened to come and get my YouTube channel. What he doesn't understand, which is par for the course, they're not the smartest people. He doesn't understand that YouTube and TikTok don't operate at all the same. You can't just go to YouTube and say, he hurt my feelings. I'm a girl, I hurt my feelings. It doesn't work like that. So you can try, but it's pointless to attempt it. Mm-hmm. Okay, you're not going to get anywhere by doing that outside of TikTok, which is why they limit your reach there and they give you the money they give you because they know what they can get away with. You can't do that elsewhere. And so what you're going to hear next is going to be probably one of the most unhinged and crazy things. Hopefully it'll upload here soon. It's a 2-minute video. And I made sure to grab it some years ago. It's been years now since he said this. He's still around, okay? But the violence that they call for is not just, if you see them, slap them or, shove them. What we're talking about, if you see them, kill them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a bit harsh.
To me, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how you get to that level of if you don't like somebody, kill them.
Well, yeah, they view John Brown as a hero. So, I mean, that's what he did. He went around Kansas just killing everybody that he disagreed with. Like, I get that it was about slavery and all that stuff, but still at the same time, it was like, we're a country of laws. You go around murdering people, you're still a murderer.
Right. Oh. All right. I think I have it ready. Downloads. All right, here we go. I'm warning you now. All right. Okay. Warning you now. Here he is.
All right. So I've been quiet with this T-Daky situation, and I'm going to talk to you as Staff Sergeant Chappelle and how serious this situation is and why it's critical to properly plan. The 4 black women who are responsible, along with a racist white woman, for getting T. Nathan apprehended, failed at planning. So you're operating on things you know. What these individuals don't know is how deeply affected people in his immediate family are, how deeply affected his close friends and associates are. They don't know the capabilities and the possibilities of individuals who may or may not have their address outside of their state and city to well within their city limits, knowing exactly where they're at. They never planned for the blowback. Because once you do something like that, you're now the target. What's your contingency plan against things you have not even took in consideration? If you're thinking because I'm a woman, I'm a black woman, or I'm gay, I'm safe, this is not how real life works. So if we want to talk about being accountable, now you must be accountable for your actions.
So this is their response.
So you heard.
Mm-hmm.
I know where I might know where you live, and I'll find you because you turned somebody in for doing something illegal.
Yeah.
And because it's his friend, I'm going to find you, and you just don't understand the kinds of things we're capable of. Now, in another video after that one, he goes into detail of what he would do. And in that video, he talks about actually SAing them. And I'm not just talking about a small example of it. He goes into graphic detail about what he would do, up to removing teeth from them.
Isn't he also a proponent of the Me Too movement too?
He is a Me Too guy.
But how insane would it be to put that on the internet? Like,
apparently it's not insane.
It's one thing to think things. It's another thing to make an entire video about it
and post it.
Like that takes a lot of steps there, my friend.
And just like we were saying earlier, these guys are protected. They always have been. A normal person, if any of us was to get on social media and say exactly what he said, I'm talking about write down every single word and say it exactly like he said. We're gone. Our page, every platform, IP ban, gone. But guys like this could say it because these guys like him and all the rest of these idiots, they have an agenda. And that agenda is funded through other corporations and other groups. So they're funding them to spew all this garbage. And then to protect them, TikTok gets a kickback. I guarantee it. They give him a little money. They'll be like, hey, no, here you go. We're paying you to keep his page up. He's going to say some off the wall stuff, but we're paying you. And then we get our cut from him.
And what's ironic,
And
what's ironic, as you say that, if we were also the ones to say exactly what he said, he would go on a tirade about how that's wrong. You should never say stuff like that.
Well, it's because people don't have actual ethics or morals to begin with. Yeah, but hey, bro, I got a question for you. Doesn't he remind you of somebody in a unit that fails upward and takes all these like cool courses that you'll never get to take, even though the infantry dudes need them?
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about? Like that one guy that's always like put in for schools.
Yeah, he gets every school.
Yeah, he went to every school, right? He knows everything about everything, but he literally knows nothing, and he always gets promoted for some reason because he has an awesome PFT.
Yeah.
That's it. He can run fast. That's it.
I don't even think he can do that.
No, he can't. He's
I don't think he can do that at all.
That's what this guy reminds me of. It's just like the guy that thinks he knows everything, but he knows nothing. He has no wisdom, right? That's what it is.
But he does have the wisdom enough to know that he can't be touched.
Yeah.
And that's what they've been empowered with. They've been empowered with the concept that you can do what you want here, which is why TikTok, listen, I understand that TikTok is a very toxic app. I fully agree. It's 100% toxic because it is proving to people what exactly the left hopes every platform becomes like.
Yep.
They don't really want TikTok gone. The left does not want. They want every other platform to be just like TikTok, where they can aggravate people who disagree with them to the point where they either kill themselves or they give other people a reason to want to physically harm them.
Yeah.
This is why I said we're not in a place where we are negotiating with these people on the left. They have nothing to negotiate with us with. They have nothing we want. They don't have a moral compass. They don't know how to manage money. They don't care about family. So what exactly are we trying to find middle ground with these monkeys for? Like, I'm confused as to why we're trying to find peace with these people. And at some point, we have to understand that it's okay to dislike them and want nothing to do with them. It's okay.
Yeah. And that's very interesting you said that, Marlon, because I was watching the whole thing with Mark Zuckerberg today, and I'm not getting off topic, but I'm kind of I'm agreeing with what you're saying is that they want these social media platforms to be like TikTok to cause all this, cause people to hurt themselves, cause others to commit acts of violence and other creators. So now the big government can sit back and say, look what your social media platforms are doing. They are causing people to this, they are causing people to do that, they are causing people to do this. So now we're going to step in and we are going to take control of social media. So it's all part of their game, man. Mm-hmm. This is all done on purpose. But, you know, the little monkeys, like we say, are just sitting back there eating it up. They're eating it up, and they're eating people like, you know, whatever it is. What's this guy? Brock?
Matthew Chappelle is his name.
Yeah, Matthew Chappelle. They're eating guys like they're eating it up. And the guy, he puts out trash content. He talks about the same thing all the time. Nothing he talks about is interesting. Nothing. Mm-hmm. But people are eating it up.
And for people who might think we're doxing, we're not doxing. He gave that name, so we're using it. You heard him say Staff Sergeant Chappelle. And in his profile now, he has the name Matt. So yes, it's Matt Chappelle, and I can say it because he put it out there into the ether from his own account. So
there it is.
Public domain.
Just so you know. And he said it before. He does live in Texas. So, and he's always asked people to pull up. Ain't nobody pulling up to see you. Nobody has that kind of time to waste. If we want to do something, we're not going to be like you and tell you that we're coming. No one's that stupid. That's the element.
Why would I waste my time with that anyway?
Yeah. I'm not going to get online like you do, you moron, and tell everybody that you want to be violent towards women and you want to kill people that you don't agree with and you want to find a way that you can decapitate folk, kick their teeth in, shoot them, stab, all this nonsensical stuff that you came out of trauma with because you got hurt somewhere, either as a child because your dad or somebody raped you. That's your history. I get it. It looked like the kind of people that someone touched when you were a kid. And then you got into the military and you got scarred because you saw dead people. And all of a sudden you feel like you're the sixth sense. And I see dead people, but no one cares about you. You're married to somebody that looks like a dude. Right? So I can see that your life is an absolute train wreck. I get why you are the way you are. Your life sucks. I get it. But you're the only one suffering from it. We don't need to be included in your despicable life. Keep it to yourself. Anybody care about that? Nobody wants to hear.
So my question is here, as a military guy, did he go in as an open MOS slot, or did he specifically choose mortuary assistant?
No idea.
That raises a lot of questions for me, because like as Mike and I know, you can choose what you go into. Unless you go open. If you go open contract, they'll put you wherever they can put you, right?
No, the Army doesn't have open contracts.
Do they not?
No, the Army.
Oh, at least for the Marines.
So yeah, I know the Marines do. That's why I didn't join the Marines, because they wanted to put me in open contract. I was like, no, I went over to the Army and got what I wanted. But yeah, I get what you're saying, you know. But the Army doesn't have an open contract, so he physically had to pick.
That's even worse.
That job.
Oh,
I was giving the benefit of the doubt.
So he picked it.
Okay,
and so he looks like one of those weird kids, you know, back in the day. He used to do weird stuff in his basement. I don't know, you know.
But he has a daughter.
Nah, we're not no kids.
No, he does.
The point is the fact that he chose that MOS is what I'm getting at. Is he chose to be in with dead people all the time. I don't know if I would have chosen that as my given profession in the military, because there's a lot of dead people to go through, especially overseas. So I'm just saying, like, if you choose that, you chose that for a reason. And I don't know what that reason is, and that's weird.
I just know this much. He has admitted, just like the rest of the people who are on the left from the military, they've admitted this one big thing. They have mental problems. This is not me saying something to be mean. They have all admitted that they have left the military mentally damaged. If that be the case, the very last thing you need is a platform to spout your mental illness.
That's right.
What you need to be doing is taking care of your mental illness and getting it fixed. But you are relishing and you love the fact that you're mentally off, because it tells me that you were mentally off before you joined the military. I think you joined the military in hopes that you can have a cover for your mental insanity. Now you can say, well, I've seen some things and I've done some things. No, fool, you were crazy long before the military.
Yeah.
Long before. There's no way you can tell me you were in the military for 12 years and all of a sudden you just come out and you just all of a sudden just violent. Because if I remember correctly, the military is supposed to, now hear me out, the military teaches you discipline. You go in there with a certain personality type, it only enhances it or it removes it. And the only distinction between the two is what you're willing to let go. I'm sick of people trying to pass this off. Well, I've seen so much, and this is not like World War II anymore. Okay, it's a massive difference in the field. You don't have that excuse anymore. You really don't. You have way too much access to help that you don't take, then that's on you.
Right.
And ain't nobody else supposed to be tackling your stupidity and you're crazy because you didn't go and get help. You have to either at that point like it or you refuse to listen to people. And no one at that point should care.
Yeah.
That's just me. I mean, it sounds callous, but I don't give a damn about people who they have access to mental care and they don't take it.
No, I agree, man. I did almost 22 years. I've been deployed 4 times. I was an infantryman for my whole time in the military. And I don't use that as, like you said, I don't use it as a flex or a crutch or an excuse. Do we all have problems? Yes, of course. We're not knocking that people don't come out of there with some type of issue, especially if you was in the real stuff, really seeing stuff. And you're right. A lot of people like him use that as an excuse to be the way they are. And that's not an excuse. That is a personal choice that you're making. Because as Marlon stated, there is help out there. Yeah. There is help. It depends on whether or not you put on your big boy pants and go get the help, or you're just going to sit on the couch and grovel in your own, pity. No, get help. And then that's what he does. He uses it as an excuse. Oh, my PTSD or whatever you want to call it, as an excuse to act the way he does. So if he does get called out, or if the police come knocking on his door, if Secret Service come knocking on his door, all he has to do is revert to what?
Yeah.
Mental disorder.
My trauma.
That's all he's going to do.
Yeah.
So here's my perspective on that, because most of the guys that I know that were in Afghanistan with me or seniors of mine, they pretend everything's okay. Guys that actually have things wrong with them pretend they're okay. Same thing with alcoholics, right? They always pretend that everything's okay. It's the same thing, right? They will pretend all day long that there's nothing wrong, but something's wrong. Guys that flex it out like that are fakes. They're always fakes. It's the same thing with the transgender argument, right? The people that flaunt, like Dylan Mulvaney, the person we dislike, right? He flaunts his dysphoria, even though people with real dysphoria do not flaunt it because they don't want to be identified as that way. Right? Showing your bulge is not something that you would do if you have an actual dysphoric issue.
Right.
Same thing with PTSD, and you're trying to hide your trauma. You don't go blatantly saying I have trauma. You hide it because it's a shame to you.
And then not only that, it's a hurtful thing to you. It's not like it's an enhancing to your personality. Yeah. The same thing with Thomas the Bishop. Oh, he talks about his mental problems all the time, and you can blatantly see that the man does indeed have mental problems, but none of them get it taken care of because it's a tool for money.
That's right.
They all have, and if you look at them, okay, here's an experiment for people out there. Sign up for a TikTok account just for one day, just one, and type in at any point, Biden is the best. And I guarantee you the people that will pop up all look the exact same, 1.
Yeah.
And 2, they say the exact same things. And 3, watch the eyes carefully and you will see all of them have a very vacated mind.
That's right.
Yeah. Because that's what they're thriving on. The ludicrous of people, the insanity of people, the mental instability. That's the ones they want because they can be what you would call controlled. They can be controlled. And it's good because they come with a lot of what you call energy when they're talking about something, even if it's not true, but they bring a lot of energy to it. And they bring the fear factor. If you don't believe me, I will hurt you. If you don't take my word for gold, I will harm you. They do this in socialist countries all the time. Look at China.
Yeah. And that's a good point, Marlon, because, I've been on TikTok since about early 2019, late 2018, early 2019. And all the way up until the pandemic, you didn't see stuff like this, You didn't see guys coming out openly calling for violence on people. You didn't see it. It happened after the pandemic when people figured their brains already messed up, and having people on lockdown messed them up even more. So they figured there's a way I can make money by playing a victim and using my mental health as a way to make money so people feel sorry for me. And then if I get in trouble, like I said earlier, I just blame it on my mental health.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win for me. And this is what guys like Thomas DeVillian, Brock does. What's that other
U.S. Army Overlord?
US Army Overlord, and there's another one, Tubby one. But they all use the same tactic.
I Speak is the same way. All of them have this strange mental issue.
Yep.
Jolly Ginger, same thing. Went into the military, came out worse for wear because they didn't go in with all their marbles intact. Look, I understand training for the military in any department you go into is going to be hellacious on your mind and on your body.
That's
and if
the
your
point.
mental ain't right, it'll break you.
Yeah.
It is not made for the weak. So I understand that some people may come out traumatized, but some people go in mentally off and come in quadruple times crazy. All right. They leave it way worse, and they should be monitored, but a lot of them are not. And you'll find them today on social media platforms pushing the same narrative that will put the fear factor in people for, to make sure that they listen. It's a compliance thing. If I'm afraid, okay, say I'm new to the social media, and I don't know which side to pick, but I know that if I speak one point of view, I get threatened to be assassinated, killed, harmed. I'm going to be less likely to say my point of view. In fact, it might even behoove me to join their side so I don't get hurt.
Yeah.
And it may not mix with my moral core, but if I want to be on social media, I'm going to have to toe the line, which is why a lot of us who don't toe the line encounter all of these violent outbursts. They come onto your platform and saying stuff that will find you, they'll kill you, they'll rape your kids. All this nonsense. This is the extent they go to. Why? To shut you up. Fear is a big tool, man. It's a winning game. If I can put enough fear in you, I can cause you to leave social media, and your influence is now gone. How many people have been shut down on Facebook because they say, I can't say what I really want to think, because if I do, I get my page banned, or you go to Facebook jail, or you get taken off of Instagram. All of this stuff is by design, so you don't say what you got to say. They hope that you get afraid. I would be afraid. I have family. People threaten my family all the time, but I keep hoping that somebody will be froggy enough.
Yep, I
Look,
do too.
It'll only take one person to be a frog for them to end up fried. That's all I'm saying. This is not a threat. I'm just saying, but if you're stupid enough to try somebody like that, and you don't know what they're capable of, don't be mad if you lose. That's all.
Great.
Kind of like GT.
That
like
is great.
Yes.
And one thing, Marlon, that you brought up is, censorship, right? We always talk about the First Amendment, censorship. They're censoring us. But what do we do to ourselves as creators?
We do it
censor
too.
ourselves.
Yeah, we censor ourselves.
We censor ourselves because we're scared to lose some page. We do it all the time. We can't talk about freedom of speech when we're taking our own speech away by censoring ourselves. Facebook pages, TikTok come and go. I've done had 12, 13 of them pages. They come and go. They're all over the place. Who cares? That app is going away soon anyway. But guys like these people that we're talking about will use their reach, their power, whatever agency they have to shut you down, because they know what you're saying is going to have more influence on the masses than what they're saying.
It is a crazy thing. And I think the more would we shut up, the more ground they get. The more we get silent, the more voices they get heard, and the next generation is looking for somebody to listen to, whether we want to believe that or not.
Right.
They're looking for someone to listen to. But if we don't talk, they never hear the right, and they'll only listen to the fear factor, and they'll follow it because it's a self-preservation thing. First of all, they don't want to die. They don't want to get beat up. So they might as well go along with it. So, and you do that from young enough, the next generation will be it'll be natural to them at that point. And then they start thinking that way anyway. And that's their goal. People like us, savage patriots, who don't have a filter and refuse to shut up, we're trying to get y'all to understand this. You cannot afford to shut up.
Right.
Yeah.
The only combat we have is the other point of view. And if they don't like it, then that's too bad. Then they don't like you. If you lose friends, oh well, you lose friends. You have to ask yourself, were they friends to begin with?
That's right.
True.
That's what you have to ask yourself. Were they friends to begin with? And if they weren't, then you've gained. You've not lost, you've gained. And if you start looking at it like that, you'd be less inclined to be worried about what you say, especially when you know it to be true.
It's true.
That's the way it should be. But tomorrow's Rumble, anybody know what they're talking about?
Not off the top of my head.
I want to talk about. I do want to talk about this disease X again because it's popping up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was gonna wait until Tuesday for this topic, but maybe we can do it tomorrow. Is talking about the dark age of media. That's what I believe we're in? Is the dark age of media and how everything sucks.
I can see that. I like that.
It's like DEI is ruining everything that we love. Like everything, every IP has gone to shit because of all of these people.
Mm-hmm. I could like that. And I know there's one other topic I want to bring up, but I won't say here. It'll just be a surprise tomorrow. It's really controversial. Very, very much something that you cannot talk about on other normal pages, and Rumble will be the site for it. It's big, just saying, but it's going to be something I can't say here for sake of keeping the page. I can say it, but I'll say it very covertly. Let's just say it has to do with red. Okay, it's a color issue.
Didn't we talk about that before?
Not this one.
Is it a new one?
Mm-hmm. It's not the liquid you're thinking of. It's not.
Oh, okay.
It's
a new one.
It's a different red.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's a lot less serious, but all right.
No, rumbles for deep conversation.
Deep stuff. So just prep for that. I'll set the show up tonight before I go to bed or first thing in the morning, and because tonight's gonna be my rest night. I don't have a show tonight, so I'm gonna probably record a couple of things and then go to bed. 6 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. 6 Eastern tomorrow. On Rumble. Don't miss it. It's gonna be a good one. 6 Eastern Rumble tomorrow. Make sure you go out and get your. Hey, by the way, if y'all have merch that you've purchased and you have, send pictures to our email. Okay, we want to put it on the community link, but we want more than just one. If anyone out there has bought any merch, take a snapshot of yourself. If you don't want to put your face, you don't need to put your face.
There's a shirt idea I had that I wanted to bring up, but I couldn't. It was what was it?
Where is it?
Peaceful, never harmless.
Yes, that's a good one. The email is scrolling at the bottom. Feel free to send it there. I think, bro, you have access to that email too, don't you?
Yes.
You're right. So make sure you send it there. The savagepatriots@gmail.com. And we'll put together a little
slideshow
of y'all. And but if you don't have merch, go get merch.
Jeez.
Support us, man. We got some good stuff out there too.
God.
Oh.
Look, Marlon and I was saying this backstage when we were talking. We do this for free.
For free, man.
For free. We enjoy feeding information. We're not like the rest of these, these smooth brains, these paid actors on TikTok that grift for money. Yeah, we actually feed and give you guys information, feed information for free. Just know that.
Didn't have the bottom be yet.
The shirts are available. The cups are available. You got all of it. Purse, we got everything. Just go check it out.
Bottom
Tell me what you think. What today is? Today is
Friday the 2nd.
Let me see. 1, 2, in 2 weeks and 3 days. Big surprise coming. 2 weeks, 3 days. In 2 weeks, 3 days.
Big
surprise is coming.
I don't even know.
Massive
another baby?
Not for necessary for Savage Patriots, but for people who follow the Savage Patriots and follow Too Strong and follow Straight Talk and follow anything Fair Media. In 2 weeks and 3 days, big surprise coming.
There you go.
There you go. And then a month later, another big surprise coming, but for the Savage Patriots.
Yes. I'm aware of that one.
Yeah, he's aware of that one.
I'm aware of that one.
So just so y'all know. Okay, no hint. Ain't nobody getting no hint.
If someone could guess it, I will buy you any shirt you want off the Savage Patriots from the store. I will purchase it myself. If you can guess what it is, which probably not, but
I like the puppy behind you. Like, I can guess.
Yeah, somebody if you guess it, shoot us a message or shoot us on our email. Send it to us on our email, and if you guess it, I will reply. Send you a shirt.
Your dog is saying he can guess it.
Yeah, that's Emma.
She's looking at like, I know the answer, Dad. I know the answer.
Yeah, she knows everything. That's my road dog right there. That's my girl. Like she's back there grinning. Look, she's just grinning.
She trying to be in the camera so bad, like
because she knows, like, no lie. Whenever I'm done with a podcast and I take my headphones off, they know and they start. She knows. Both of them know, and they'll run to the door because they want to go outside.
That's my cat.
Yeah, I let them out before I go.
My cat is always down here with me during my shows, and as soon as she hears the music, she gets up and starts to head upstairs because she knows it's time for me to leave.
We're all done. Let's go.
These animals, man.
That's what she says.
So we'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget to show up. Rumble event. We're talking about something deep and some funny stuff as well. But please don't forget to be there. We'll be there at 6 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. Mr. Lee.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you Saturday, 6 p.m.
Peace.